Hello and welcome back to the weekly Q&A. Here we are just staring into the camera creepily, waiting for the little recording light to go on. And apparently it was already on. Sometimes it's just so difficult to know if it's recording or not, but anyway, we're on the couch again with the questions. I might actually record in front of my PC next week because I did get my webcam working properly, full HD, 1080p if I want to use it. I might actually stick with 720p because it comes out smoother, the frame rate stays like much more constant, and with the blue wall behind me, the exposure levels or whatever you want to call it are quite high, so it messes with the frame rate a bit, but I'm not here to talk about that. Oh, and the Mr. Pandoria soundtrack's playing back there. And I've got a glass of water down here. Perfect. We're all set. For a Q&A that's a week late, so I apologize for that. There was a lot going on here. With Nero puppy being sick, we were up and down between here and the vet a lot, and to make things worse, it was whale festival in town, so every single trip to town took like 3 times as long because there's so much traffic, there are so many people, it was just crazy. People that live in this town want whale festival to just end, so that everyone can just leave again. We can have our town back to ourselves. Anyway, got the questions, as I mentioned, so let's get to them. Let's get to them. First one is from Shemrazot. What server do you play on in PlanetSide 2? So, PlanetSide 2 is being delayed a bit by the fact that the game is totally broken right now. Now, some people playing it might not realize that, but some of the factions are just much stronger than the other factions, and there are a lot of imbalances because they gave us all like a whole load of cert points so everyone could buy everything, and because the certs aren't balanced correctly between the 3 factions or empires or whatever, it's a bit messy. Everyone is just playing on New Conglomerate, and there are no Vanu and no Terran Republic, and it's just not much fun at the moment. So this week sometime they are apparently releasing a big update that's gonna wipe everything again, and we're gonna get to make our characters again, we're gonna get to choose our servers again, so I will tell you what server I'm playing on then. But if the server names stay the same, I'm probably gonna go on Chaldean. I'm not sure yet. I'll release a PlanetSide video telling you guys what's what my character name is, what server I'm playing on. It will be on EU, that much I can tell you, but check back here soon for that. I know the video's not ending. I always say that at the end of the video, but it's not gonna end right now. What order did you join? This is from Svefrede. Nice nickname. I like it. So this is obviously for Guild Wars 2. I joined the Order of the Whispers because I liked their armor. That was the main reason, but the second one that came hand in hand with that was that in the Asuran personal story, the Order of the Whispers girl was just so much cooler. I liked her. She had character, she had spunk, and that was one of the main reasons for me to choose them as well. I haven't played very far into my Order of Whispers story yet, but I'm kind of enjoying it so far. I like the sneaky missions, and I feel that it's sort of unwritten, but the Priory is for light armor classes, the Whispers for medium armor, and the Vigil for heavy armor, but not entirely. It also comes down to the way you want to play the game, what you want to do. A lot of choices, but I chose Whispers, and so far I'm having an absolute blast playing their missions. Then, are you going to use the Legend of Grimrock dungeon editor? Maybe make your own dungeon, the Lumanjun, or something like that. This is from Honored Mind, and honestly, I wish I could. I wish I had the time to just sit and mess around with the editor because it looks like so much fun, but what's going to end up happening is I'm probably just going to play other people's creations and not use it so much myself. Mainly because I don't have the time. I just don't. And I generally don't like saying that. Sorry. I've been recording all day. Today was one of those days where everything just went right. Everything worked. It clicked. Videos were being churned out by me, and that's nice. And when I say that, I just mean that I felt like what I recorded today was quality stuff, and I was happy with all of it. So I'm in a good mood today for that reason alone. And my voice is pretty much done because I've been recording all day. I was on a roll. I didn't want to stop that roll. I didn't want to slow that roll. I'm continuing the role right now. Perhaps. Possibly. Who knows? But Legend of Grimrock Dungeon Editor. I'm more interested in playing other people's creations, mainly because, for instance, right now, I'm trying to jump back into Path of Exile, which I did record today. I am trying to level a character in WoW because I'm making a little montage of my leveling through the Pandaren starting zone because I made a Pandaren monk and I want to get back into WoW to do a bit of pet battles. I want to see some of the new content. I want to try the monk out. Basically just want to see what there is to offer. Now someone's actually talking over there. Really? I didn't know there was something like that on the soundtrack. I didn't realize. I thought it was a score, not a soundtrack. The Traveler's Path. I don't know what that is, but he's talking. It's fine. Let's just let him talk back there. Anyway. So, I'm not going to do anything with the Dungeon Editor myself, not anytime soon at least, but I'd love to play other people's creations. I've still got Legend of Grimrock on my PC and I would happily play them, because that game is amazing. Super cool. What is the thumbnail picture from? IUEL42. That's the nickname? EUL42? I don't know. The thumbnail picture for the Q&A is actually from Beyond Good and Evil. You can get it on their site, beyondgoodandevil.com or whatever. I don't know what the site is actually, but on Beyond Good and Evil's main website, there's a press kit that you can download. It's a wallpaper from that. And I just love the picture. I don't know why I put it on the Q&A's thumbnail, but I like the picture. I know that I should probably be using my face on some of them. Like if I record a vlog, I should have, for the vlogs, my face on it somehow. But I have no good photos of myself. I'm one of those people that's never in photos. I might be in a lot of videos. Sure, there are lots of videos of me, but I don't have a single photo of myself. Any thumbnails I've ever used with my face in have been snapshots of videos. That's it. I just don't have thumbnails myself. Like Toby Turner uses pictures of himself in all these thumbnails, and it's clever. I think a lot of people do that. Actually, lots and lots of people do that. I would like to do that one day. I don't know why I'm talking about that. No, the thumbnail image is from Beyond Good and Evil. That's it. Done. Question answered. I'm so silly. Then, would you like to tell me something about what you think about Prometheus in the next Q&A? Mordred P777. I would love to. I am kind of conflicted about it. At first, I didn't actually even know that I was watching the prequel to Alien. I didn't know. No one told me this. I just went into it like blank slate. I didn't know a single thing about the movie. But what I picked up from it, and what I was sort of told by Helene afterwards that she read a bit, was that there's a lot more meaning behind everything that happens in the movie. But let me start by saying that the movie itself is pretty cool as just an action movie. It's fun. It's a nice sci-fi action-packed movie. There's a lot happening, the effects are amazing, the production value is high, the actors, Fassbender, he's amazing. I love that guy. In the movie, he was pretty annoying, but he couldn't help it. As an actor, he's amazing. Charlize Theron was in there, she was pretty cool. I didn't like the main researcher lady, she was not cool. Her boyfriend, even worse. The captain, super cool. Anyway, the actors were good. That's all you need to know. The movie itself, fun. But then there's this deeper meaning behind it. And I kind of enjoyed that, where the aliens that were on the planet that they visited, so there are spoilers incoming now. I'm just warning you right now, if you haven't seen it, skip a minute or two ahead. But these aliens, these big guys, they are the creators of life, so-called creators of the human race. Okay, in the start of the movie, you saw this guy killing himself, and his essence was like spread into the, well, it was sprinkled into this river, and that was how humans were created. Well, that was the start of it. It's like a long story short there. But they are these people, and now a big drama in the movie was all about how, like, why were they trying to kill their own creation, the humans? Now, there are theories that those ones on that planet were a rebel faction, they weren't working with the ones that actually created the humans. But there's a lot surrounding that whole thing. If you go and look on the forums, I think there are official forums for Prometheus, or if you go and look on the IMDb forums or whatever, there are pages upon pages upon pages of like conspiracy theories and stuff happening behind the scenes. But on the whole, my thoughts on the movie were entirely positive, except that I felt as if you don't know what's going on, if you don't go and read about it afterwards, you're going to be a bit lost. You're going to be like, huh? Like, oh, the special effects were cool, it was fun to watch, but what actually happened? I don't know. You have to actually read about it afterwards. So, I just told you a whole bunch of nothing. Next. Someone asks, Vizone3000 asks, do you read your YouTube PMs? I sent you a message a couple of days ago, but, or a couple of messages, but I never got a reply. Now I went back and looked, and the reason I didn't reply to your message is because I thought it was an advert. The title of the message was, do you reuse plastic bottles? And I was like, okay, spam message, get out of here. And I apologize for that, but I get messages like that all the time. Do you this? Do you that? Did you know this? And I get a lot of messages at the moment, and I would say 80% of them are these silly spam messages where people ask you a silly question, send you one of their videos, and it's not like a nice person asking, hey, can you give me some really, can you give me some advice about my video? Hey, can you tell me what you think? No, it's a person sharing his video saying, you should check this out. Did you know that when dogs walk backwards, they see funny, or whatever, you know, that's just totally random, but that kind of stuff. Okay, and that's the reason I missed your message. But it was actually about bottled water and reusing plastic bottles. That's the one I saw. If you sent others, I didn't see those. We don't reuse our plastic bottles for longer than a day or two, or a couple of times. We have like glass bottles in the fridge. We mostly drink out of a purifier water thingy that we got attached to our tap. That's it. Using plastic bottles. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was a real message. Okay, I'm embarrassed. So, hi Lumini. That's an interesting way of saying my nickname. Have a proposition to you that you can make on the guild. An activity race type thing on a high level map from north to south. This is for Guild Wars, by the way. Imagine all the people in your guild running like maniacs across the map. It would be crazy. If you like the idea, please let me know if you're going to do it in a video. Best regards, in-game nickname Mystic Zen, or Adrian Cretu. Pretty interesting idea. And I wouldn't be entirely against it, but I don't know. I feel as if it might just be a little bit boring. And yes, it could work, but who's going to stop people from just using a waypoint to get from one side to the other side? There's always problems like that. And sure, you could say, well, people will just be honest and do it properly without cheating, but you never know. You never know, we could just do it for fun. One day when we go to an area for a jumping puzzle, we could race from the one side to the entrance of the jumping puzzle or something like that. I don't know. We can think of that. We'll see. Then, are you a big fan of Formula 1? It kind of surprised me that you mentioned Kimi Räikkönen, because you don't strike me as the type to watch much Formula 1. I suppose he might just be more known over there, though. I don't think he's known here. No, I don't think so. I'm just used to America, where not many people follow or know much about F1 and their drivers. This is from Talugi88. Oh, and then there's another question after that. So, interesting. I feel as if Europe is definitely more into that kind of thing, and as a sport, that's something that they would watch more, I would say. And I think we're a more European country than we are an American country, so yeah. I think a lot of South African people are into racing. They have no preference, they're just into racing. Rally, Formula 1, monster trucks, trains. It doesn't matter. As long as you're racing something with an engine, South Africans will watch it. Okay? I did watch a lot of Formula 1. I don't watch anymore. I haven't watched a single race for over a year, probably 2 years. I used to watch it a lot before I got into making videos and stuff. I am a huge fan of Fernando Alonso. That guy has so much personality. I'm a big fan of Kimi Räikkönen, as big as I am of Fernando Alonso. I also feel that every race that you watch with him in was just a lot of fun. I'm not that big a fan of Michael Schumacher. I like Sebastian Vettel. He's super cool. I liked watching Lewis Hamilton when he first started out because it was fun seeing him rise through the ranks where he was the little golden boy. He couldn't do anything wrong. It was cool seeing that starting out. I did not enjoy watching Jenson Button win. I don't know why. I just don't like Jenson Button. I don't like the guy at all. I don't know. Okay. But I watched a lot of Formula One. Probably 3 or so seasons full. And I enjoy it. I enjoy the sport much more than I would something like cricket or rugby or tennis or anything else. It's just a lot of fun to watch. Maybe it's because it's a lot like video games in that sense, where maybe it's because there are video games about Formula One. There are probably video games about all sports, but maybe just because it's like video games in the sense that there's a lot of precision that goes into it. There are a lot of aspects that factor into it, where you've got the pit team, the guys on the wall, the car, even the silly steering wheel makes it. Basically, the car alone has a lot of aspects about it, with the tires, the engine, the aerodynamics, all of that. Just it fascinates me that there's so much going on there, and then obviously add to that the speed. It's crazy. It is so crazy. But I like Formula One. Then, next question. What's your favorite part from Fifth Element? I had to ask after you mentioned it in a Q&A or two ago, because it's my favorite movie ever. So I haven't watched that movie in ages, but I will tell you now that you ask me that, I'm probably going to go ahead and put it on my phone, and I'm going to put Blade Runner on my phone because I want to rewatch Blade Runner, and a couple of other old movies probably, just because I want to watch them again. And maybe I'll watch them in pieces here and there when I'm lying in bed or something. I like watching movies on my phone. I don't know why, I just enjoy it. The sound is really good if you use the headphones. And if you're holding it this far from your face, the picture's amazing too. So, favorite scene. I remember the one that comes to mind immediately is, I think it's where Bruce Willis comes in and the aliens are trying to take people hostage, and then he walks in there and then he says, can I try and negotiate? And then he walks in there and he goes in and he just goes around the corner, pulls out his gun, shoots the alien in the head, and he asks, does anyone else want to negotiate? Or something silly like that, and that was amazing. I would say any scene with Bruce Willis in, with Chris Tucker in, or with... who else was in that movie that was really good? Oh my goodness. Gary Oldman. Wasn't he just amazing? He was. He really was. That was the prime of his acting career. Well, I don't know if it was the prime of his acting career, but it was one of his best roles ever. I don't know what other scenes there were that were good. I honestly haven't watched that movie in 10 years or something. No, not 10 years. 5 years maybe. But it's all over there. I'm looking at it right now. It's up on the shelf. We've got the DVD. I'm going to watch it again. For sure. Thank you for reminding me. Then. Not sure if someone's asked this before, but what type of music do you listen to? And who's your favorite band apart from Linkin Park? Because you mentioned it before. I myself love Of Mice and Men and Sleeping with Sirens. This is from Callum Smith 9898. Apart from Linkin Park, I actually, right now my music taste has changed significantly over the years. For the last 3 years or so, more probably, I've just been listening to like video game music. Video game related music, stuff like that. I don't know, I just don't get around to listening to other stuff. I don't know why. I just enjoy this so much more. Maybe I can appreciate it more now, but I've been listening to video game stuff mostly. Before that, favorite bands, I would say I like Hoobastank and 30 Seconds to Mars and Incubus. Those 3 are really, really good. That's my kind of music. Take those 3, combine them, I like that. There you go. Straight up. Simple question to answer. You once said that you're probably not gonna make a Witcher playthrough because there's a little bit of nudity a few times and a bit of violence, and younger people might watch it. But you played Amnesia, which is much worse in both ways. Yes, even nudity because there's full exposure. Blah, blah, blah. I'm bad at reading. And since most of your story-driven playthroughs are done, it would be great if you could do it, because you're the best when playing single-player story-driven games. This is from Molda22. Thank you very much. I didn't know that. I don't think I'm going to play Witcher, sadly, because firstly, both Witcher 1 and Witcher 2 are slightly older now. I'm going to start a new story-based game soon. Dishonored. That's coming up when Skyrim ends. I've got a lot of work to do with Skyrim. I am going to apologize right now and say that I just can't do it. The time investment is too large, too great. As much as I want to play it, it's more, right now, more down to time and the amount of other stuff that I want to do on my channel instead of the nudity, violence, stuff like that. Sure, I could work around that if I wanted to, but there's so much other stuff. And there's so much new stuff coming out. This is game season. It's starting to become winter over in the US now. It's fall, so everyone wants to release their games in fall so that people have stuff to play when they're sitting on their couches in winter. There you go. And there are already 2 big games that I had to sort of turn down in the form of Borderlands and Torchlight. I'm sad about that. I'm going to try play them myself and do my little reviews within the next week or 2. But yeah, it just doesn't make sense for me to play that right now. Otherwise, Dishonored. Hey, I'm pretty sure that's going to be good. I'm quite sure of it. Not the playthrough, but the game. Maybe the playthrough will be good as well. I don't know. And one more thing. You said you'll be doing shorter indie stuff. What about Cube or Unepic? I think both of them would suit your style and would make amazing playthroughs with you doing it. That's also from Molda. I will probably check those out. I haven't actually thought about Cube or Unepic. I know what both of them are, but what I was considering doing soon was Walking Dead. You know, the episodic one, because a lot of people have been asking me for that. And that is both story-driven and semi-indie. I know it's not actually indie, but I say indie because it's actually shorter and it's been released in that way, and I don't know, I actually wouldn't call it an indie game now that I think of it, although Telltale made it and they not as big, I don't know. But Walking Dead, I've been thinking of doing that, but I will probably be doing that in sort of the same way that I did Amnesia, where I'll record a bunch of it at a time, probably sit down on a weekend, record 1 or 2 full episodes of it, enjoy myself, immerse myself, get really into it, and then release it all like every day a video for a whole week or 2. You guys will enjoy that. I promise it'll be amazing. And the great thing is that it works with a game like that, because it is story based, it is choice based, more so than any other game out there right now. And I must say, I don't know anything about the game itself. I've not spoiled it for myself. I've not watched anyone else's playthrough, so it's going to be fun when I play through it. And I think that because of the game is like that, I can probably play through the whole thing, and it's probably better if I don't read your comments, because then you might spoil things. And not you specifically. I'm not talking about you right there. I'm talking about that other guy. That other guy that always spoils things. I don't know who he is, but there's always someone who leaves a spoiler comment, and then like Helene warns me or someone else warns me not to check the comments, and then I don't. But hey, Walking Dead, perhaps soon. Then, hey Lumin, I was wondering what your thoughts are on Ultima 9. Now this is a question. Wow, this is a question. I've never played the Ultima series, unfortunately, but I've always wanted to. I watched Spoonie's review of Ultima 9 and, well, let's just say it was pretty intense, air quotes, and funny. Anyways, thanks. This is from GamerMD83. Hi, GamerMD. Thanks for the question. Wow. Ultima 9. That game is so difficult to talk about because 90% of what I feel for the game is pure nostalgia. What I feel for that game is, right now, is what I felt for it back then. The untainted version. But I can tell you what I think of Ultima 9. Firstly, let me tell you about the Ultima series. If you want to experience the Ultima series at its finest, play the earlier games. My suggestion? Play Ultima 7. Ultima 7 is amazing. Now, people who haven't played the Ultima series would always think to themselves, well, I should probably go for the newest one, the latest one. No. No, you shouldn't. The problem with Ultima 9 was that it was so buggy, so broken, and I would say it's actually irreparably broken because they released patches and they didn't really help. They patched the game a lot. I don't know if there are fan-made patches out there that fixed more, but it just didn't feel very good playing it because there was so much wrong with it at the time. And at the time, I suppose I was younger and I didn't really care too much about it, so it was all just ooh and ah. And it was one of the first open world 3D games that I personally played, so it was epic for me. It was amazing at the time. But now, going back into it, looking at videos of it, it just looks terrible. It looks so bad. But that said, if you know about the Ultima world and you have experienced it before, I feel then you might be able to appreciate Ultima 9 a little bit more. Or a little bit less. It's double-sided in that sense, because there are some loopholes in the story, there are some plot holes, I should call it rather, and that again makes it difficult to enjoy if you know the series too well. So you've got to, I don't know, find the middle ground there. But honestly, I would say the game is really cool if you don't take it too seriously. And I would also say that you should probably, if you want to enjoy the Ultima series at its finest, play Ultima 7, maybe even Ultima 8. That's a little bit different, but it's also quite good. The previous ones in the series, they are a little bit older, and I would say that you might enjoy them less because of that. Because the systems that they had in place back then were so limited that it just sort of ruins it a little bit. I would say Ultima 7 is the perfect point. The highest point in the Ultima series as far as entertainment value is concerned. I don't know. I didn't actually watch Spoonie's review, but I skipped through it because it was very long. It was very, very long. And it looked like he ripped off a lot of the parts of the game that genuinely really needed to be ripped off because they were silly. They were really silly. So I would say what I feel for Ultima 9 is mostly nostalgia. So whatever I say about it is probably untrue. Disregard anything I just said. Play Ultima 7 instead. There you go. That's what I think. Hey Lumin, my question is, do you accept anyone to Guild Illuminati or are there prerequisites? Also, how are you enjoying the Guild influence point system? This is from Jonathan Moderi. Sorry, I have trouble with that. We accept anyone, but there is a waiting list. We are going to change the waiting list soon so that if you don't accept your invite that was sent to you within a week, we're going to invite the next person. Because there are a lot of people that want to get in and it's a bit difficult. So that's that. Now, the influence system is a lot of fun. I like that you can put buffs on whenever you feel like it for, say, a day or two. And I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's cool that you can sort of max it out quickly if you've got a lot of members and then constantly keep those buffs going, that your guild members can have extra karma, extra experience, extra loot and all that stuff. I think that's really cool. There is a lot of room for improvement and they could add a lot of fun stuff to it, and they probably will. So we'll have to wait and see, but overall I like it. Also for the Illuminati members out there, I still have to somehow find time to get a post up of what we're doing like this weekend. I think it's probably going to be on Sunday sometime. We're going to have, I'm not sure what it's going to be yet, but we're going to have a PvE based meetup again. We'll talk about that soon. Anyway, next. Can I send you some Starbound media? I'm pretty sure I've got everything there is, except for some silly things that you won't even bother to look at. This is from YYHK. I would say honestly don't even bother because, not because I don't want the media, but because I'll probably just wait till the game comes out. I follow some of the Starbound guys on Twitter, and I see their tweets about the art assets and stuff, and it looks cool and everything, but I don't want to see the entire game before it's released. No. I'll just wait till it's released and jump in to enjoy it all anew or fresh when it launches. There's no real reason for me to get too into it, and as I said before, I don't have time to obsess about a game right now. There's no reason. I'll wait till it's released and then enjoy it then. Next question, from Carl Nielsen. Hey Lumin, got another question. What kind of dog is Nero Puppy? And how did you come to give him the name Nero? Also, hope he's getting better. He is getting better. He is an Alsatian crossed with something else. But he's technically called an Africanus, or an Africanus. It's like a breed native to South Africa, or Africa, I suppose. It's like a wild African dog, basically. But he's the domesticated version of that. So there you go. That's his breed. And Nero, my assumption is that he didn't chose it because of Devil May Cry 4. There was a Nero in there. She liked the game, and it sounded good. It's the kind of name you can call out in the street, and people won't look at you funny. It's a nice name. There are some negative connotations to it because of the Caesar, Nero, Claudius Augustus, but that's fine. We don't care about that. No, no. Nero has made the name his own. Then, let's see. Also, would you be willing to play the game Slender by Parsec Productions for all your fans? It's a short horror game, lasts under 10 minutes or so, and I think we'd all love to see your reactions. Also, Carl Nielsen, Slender. I know exactly what Slender is. You run around in the forest collecting pages, I think. And then there are new versions of it, and you have to run away from this guy, or you must not look at him or something. Sorry. I guess I can play it sometime. I don't know. I don't know. I felt like it was slightly too primitive, and people were just totally overreacting every time something happened in that. I don't know. I saw like one video of someone playing it, and that someone happened to be PewDiePie, and I was instantly put off by it. I don't know. I'm not a fan of PewDiePie. I think his videos are terrible. No offense to the guy. He's got a ton of subscribers. A lot of people like him. I'm going to assume, seeing that I've got about 15,000 subscribers, every single one of you is probably subscribed to PewDiePie. So I apologize if you like him. I don't know. He just doesn't do it for me. And because of that, I was put off the game, but I'll try it. Okay, I'll try it. Then, will you ever finish Lost in Lumin? This is from YYHK again, and that's a series, for those of you who don't know. I wanted to start up with Terraria. It was sort of made in the Terraria engine. I don't know if I'll finish it. I had a story idea for it, and it's possible that I would, but the chances are I'll probably finish it in a different engine or game or format. Maybe I'll do it in Starbound, who knows. The problem is just that, again, it was too much production to make something too little. It probably wouldn't have ended up being worth it. So, I don't know. I might. I've got some other stuff that'll be much more interesting that I want to do that I can't tell you about just yet, but I'm going to do something like that soon enough. Don't worry. Have you ever heard of the 2D platformer Hell Yeah, Wrath of the Dead Rabbit? I saw a bit of Total Biscuit's video of it. It's a small indie game, so when you have the time, could you consider doing a few videos on it? The game's insane. Oh, the game's insane. Literally. This is from Cylan117. So, I saw a bit of his video and it did look pretty crazy, but again, the chances are good that I'm not going to do it. Firstly, I don't own the game, and secondly, it just doesn't seem like the thing. If anything, I would end up with games like that. I'd end up doing one video on them and then ending it there, because I feel that some games don't have as much replayability when it comes to doing like let's plays or playthroughs of them. A good example is something like Starbound. That game just works for playthroughs. It is something that very much suits my personality. It's something that you can make your own little story up in. It's something that there'll be attachment in, because you've got your crew members, your ship, and it just feels to me like a better kind of game to play. And because of that, I feel that that game specifically might not work too well. Now, I haven't played it, so I can't say for sure, but yeah, it's unlikely that I'll do something on that. Then, I recently watched your video Q&A number 7 regarding the Curse network, and I was wondering if your thoughts were the same on the network. Thank you for your time, Mungry. I can't even remember what I said about them, but I'm assuming my thoughts are exactly the same. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't remember actually. I probably said that... Actually, I'm not going to say what I said. I'll say what I think now. The Curse network on YouTube. I'm a huge fan of their sites. Okay, they've got really good websites, but I'm not talking about them now. The YouTube network, I feel, they are too free with who they invite to the network and not invite who they accept. There's no quality control, and I feel that a whole bunch of people, and these are the people that I feel will start making videos up because they want to be famous on YouTube, not because they want to make videos. Not because they enjoy making videos, not because it's a thing that they're passionate about. They will start making videos because they watched Athene's videos and they thought to themselves, well, geez, I want to be famous on YouTube too. I want to be like Athene and play the games. I love that guy. He's really good. But although his new 24 videos a day thing, that's a bit much. Anyway, I feel that there are too many of those types of people that are joining that network, and the network just takes them in. Because for them it doesn't matter. If the people get views, that's okay. I don't know if they're going to get views, but I don't like that. I think a network should have some form of quality control at least, and that's why I like and respect the Game Station, because there's actually a bit of effort that has to go into making your videos. You need to actually try to get into the Game Station. You don't need to get to 500 subscribers and then just get let in. They will look at your videos. They will ask you things. I had to go onto Skype, or not had to, I went onto Skype and spoke with some people from the Game Station, and we had a conversation about things and stuff. They asked me about what I was doing, why I got into it, about my life, about how things were. Basically, there was that interaction. There was that kind of quality control. And I'd have nothing against some of the people in the Curse network, nothing at all. But I feel that because of that, it's just a network, or the kind of network that I personally wouldn't be into, I suppose. I don't know if I now explained this correctly, and I feel as if I'm sitting way too low here. There we go, better. I don't know if I explained it correctly, but that would be what I think about it. Something like that, at least. Now, next question. I recently read an article about an upcoming game, XCOM Enemy Unknown. It looks really interesting. Have you seen much about it? And if so, what are your thoughts about it? And have you played the original XCOM game before? Kleber, for you, Winston. So, XCOM Enemy Unknown looks like a lot of fun. I did play the first ones a long time ago. If I'm not mistaken, there's UFO in one of their names. I don't know. But it was, again, one of those games that I played in passing when I was younger. And I suppose it was the time that I just wasn't into the strategy or turn-based games. And I sort of just, like I said, in passing, I just discarded it after I played it for a while. But nowadays, I appreciate that type of game much more, where you have to actually think about the combat, and I like the tactical elements and aspects about the game. The graphics looked amazing. My thoughts on the game are extremely positive. I watched Total Biscuit's video of it recently, and I thought it looked like fun. I thought it looked like a lot of fun, a lot of customization that goes into your team and stuff. I don't know about the story or the backstory or whatever about the game at all, so I can't talk about that, but overall, it looks pretty cool. I don't know if I'd ever play it or do anything on it. Maybe if I happen upon the game somewhere and I get to play it a bit, I'll do a review / impressions type thing on it, I guess. That'll probably be the best way of going about it. Then, hi, how would you like a song specially written for Lumin the Adventurer? Just an idea to think about. I wouldn't mind. I'd be totally up for that. I don't know, I've never had a theme song before. I just use random music from video games, soundtracks, and hope for the best. Sometimes. Speaking about that, I'm actually looking to make myself a end screen for my videos. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but I want to have a screen at the end. Instead of my little logo fade out thing, I want to have a screen at the end where it will say subscribe and like show a previous video and have like some Tales of Lumin artwork somewhere. I don't know. I'm looking to make something like that, but I just don't know where to start. So if you guys want to help with that, feel free. I can't guarantee that I'll use anything that you make or give or show or whatever, but you can think about that. As for the song, that sounds like a lot of fun. Then, what do you think about the great city of San Francisco? Have you ever been, or would you like to go there? I can see it now. Lumin and Nero strolling down the Golden Gate Bridge with their epic theme song playing in the background. Glorious. Get well soon. This is from Minimon11, and honestly, that's the last question. San Francisco is amazing. Isn't that... No, is it Chicago or San Francisco that makes the best deep dish pizzas? I don't know. But Alcatraz, one of my all-time favorite movies, that's in San Francisco, isn't it? Whew. The Rock. Not The Rock. The movie was called The Rock. Sean Connery. Nicolas Cage. That movie was so good. I'd love to visit Alcatraz one day. Just because of that movie. Just because of that movie. I don't know much about San Francisco, honestly. I know that it's the city with the rolling hills, right? With the long downhills, and you've got those cool tram-like things going down the streets. I feel as if San Francisco just looks like the ultimate summer city. You'd see people strolling down the street without their shirts on, looking all cool and stuff. It's, I don't know, okay? It just looks like the ultimate summer city to me. It looks like a lot of fun. I would love to visit there someday. There are so many places in the US that I want to visit. Places that come to mind immediately, the normal touristy ones. Washington, New York, LA. I've been to LA already, once briefly. San Francisco, and a few others. Love to visit them. And now Seattle as well. Now my camera is running out of battery, so I have to actually end this. 4 minutes left. That was the last question. I like the look of San Francisco, and I love the sound of a theme song. Well, I hope I'm going to love the sound of it, because it might be bad, no offense. If you make music, and you make good music, go ahead. Whip something up. If it's really good, I'll put it on the channel, and everyone else can hear it too. So, that's going to be it for this episode of the weekly Q&A. Check back here soon for more. Most importantly though, happy leaving those questions. You can do so in the form of a comment. You can email them to me at talesoflumin@gmail.com, or you can message them to me, I can't talk, it's late, via YouTube PM. Do it. Do it now. And check back soon for more. Most importantly though, happy all those things. Happy that.